Do you like hot dudes and or chicks in video games?
Yes.
I mean, come on, of course you do. Don't lie to me. We can be honest here. That's the video. Probably the most obvious answer of all time. Most people are going to say yes, and historically, this has been a part of pretty much any video game you can think of for a long time. Stellar Blade's the most popular example of last year, but that's not all. Look at games like Street Fighter, Tomb Raider, shoot, even the AI Cortana from Halo has gone through an evolution in this phase. Sex appeal is clearly part of creating video games and it's part of the marketing, but too much of it in too concentrated of a way can make your game turn into a real Gooner game, and we all know what I'm talking about. So that begs the question, is Marvel Rivals a Gooner game, or is it just a superhero game with super good-looking characters? To talk about this, we're going to break it down into two parts. One, is the art and skins and all that relevant? Does it make sense in the context of the game? And two, what is the art style of the game and what are the developers trying to get you to feel? The first thing we have to talk about is the Gooner material, air quotes, relevant to the game? Does it make sense? To Marvel's credit, many of the skins that are questionable have some type of comic book relevance where the skin in the game is a callback to something we have seen in Marvel comics in the past. Maybe that makes the comics Gooner material, not just the games. Looking to you, Stan Lee. Marvel's not getting off scot-free in this video. Some kids in the 70s hid nudie mags under their beds. Some hid Fantastic Four comics. That's all I'm saying. Maybe that's what was happening. I don't know. I'm not from the 70s. Of course, it would be naive to say that the developers aren't intentionally releasing some of these more attractive skins earlier or more frequently than others, because I'm willing to guarantee that these types of skins sell a lot better than some of the more generic skins that aren't as sexually appealing as the ones they're releasing now. We can all admit that pretty privilege is a real thing, and I am willing to bet that across many video games, the prettiest characters and the most attractive characters, both male and female, sell more skins than their unattractive or more generic counterparts. If this wasn't Marvel Rivals, and instead it was just Rivals, and these were all brand new characters with their own backstory, their own lore, and a brand new IP with nothing to pull from, you could absolutely make the argument that, say, the Psylocke skin or the Invisible Woman Malice skin is absolutely Gooner bait. And if the game did a lot of those skins of a brand new IP, then yeah, I could make the argument that this is closer to a Gooner game than it is now. But because these skins are callbacks to something we've seen in comics, I think that helps Marvel Rivals barely escape that label from me. But it's towing the line. It's towing the line. Too much of these types of skins in too concentrated of a time period would make me change my mind, but for now, I would say that at least it is relevant to the source material, and so far so good, but I've got my eye on you. Now, let's talk about that art style. Marvel Rivals has a very specific art style, and one that I actually appreciate, in which superheroes are meant to look super. That applies to their abilities, lore, and their looks in the skins that you wear. I mean, just look at the Punisher. His arms are massive. I don't even think all those muscles exist. They gave him like 5 different triceps. It's nuts. This is consistent throughout every hero in the cast, not just the women, which is a good thing against the Gooner bait allegations that the men are superhero-like in their appearances as well. Consistently, all the character models are as super as they could be, from the comically swole character models for the male characters to the disproportionate features and assets of the women models. Yes, the character models are a little too detailed in some ways that are not safe to talk about on YouTube. Not that I know about it in any way. I just happened to see news about it on Twitter. Nothing interesting there at all. Not to do with the game, that's other things. In my opinion, it's intentional to have the character models look this buff or this sculpted, and I think it's important because it helps you have some sort of immersion into a superhero game. Imagine you're playing as Captain America and you're in a third-person game. You load up your character and Captain America just looks like your buddy Trevor from accounting. That would really take you out of the immersion of playing as a superhero. You wouldn't feel like Captain America, you'd feel like any other random guy. Just like how too much sex appeal can take you out of a moment where you're playing in a medieval sorcery world and all of a sudden your character's wearing bikini chainmail or something, that can take you out of the moment. It can also take you out of the moment the other way, where the character is a superhero, but they don't look like one. You're supposed to be the Hulk, and he's like a little skinny, nerdy guy. The art style is very consistent in that every character is treated this way. Every single character is larger than life. They are a sculpted physique of perfectness, which makes sense in a superhero world. And I think it's good that they have done a consistent job of making every character feel that way. I think it helps add to the immersion. It brings up the art style in my eyes. And because there's so many characters spread out across the entire genre of bodies, types, and styles, the fact that they all look so good, I think is an important thing. It's more about immersion of being in a superhero world than it is just selling Gooner skins. So what's the conclusion we can come to? Is Marvel Rivals a Gooner game? Are they going to fall into the trap of maybe being like the first Descendant or Zenless Zone Zero or some of these other games that are very much pushing the character's sexuality in your face? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be that way. Despite the fact that we have had some cheeky skins to this point, I think this game is going to be pretty good about making sure the characters look like superheroes and have skins that are relevant to the source material, but I don't think they're going to push the line too far into a space where we can't take the game seriously anymore because everyone's running around looking like a Hustler magazine or a website that you can't access while you're at work. I think this is a good thing. I'm glad they're going about it this way, and overall, I hope to see more fun skins, not just super attractive skins, because I'm a fan of the goofy in a goofy world like Marvel, so we'll see what they can do. I'm glad that they're taking things like the Spider-Man skins from the games and putting them into Marvel Rivals as well, not just the comic books. So it's a big world out there for Marvel. I'm excited to see what they do. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts and opinions on this. And also, please subscribe if you haven't already. It's free for you and it helps me out a ton. Thank you so much for watching. And if you were wanting this to be a Gooner game, I play a lot of Invisible Woman on my stream. So, I mean, Twitch links at the top if you want to check that out. Anyway, that's about it. See ya!